In this video, we're going to cover the situation that you might currently find yourself in where you want to offer a new promotion to your audience. Now, this could be a variation on an offer you're already running, or it could be a totally new offer altogether. The problem you might find yourself in is, well, how do I create this new offer in the platform? Can I change what's already there? Do I have to start from scratch? Do I clone the whole funnel? What do I need to do with my sales funnel to get this new promotion out to my audience? So in this video, we're going to cover 3 of the main options that we would most normally see and talk about which one's right for you and a couple of things you might want to consider to make sure that this goes off without a hitch and you can get your ads running to your funnel as quickly and as smoothly as possible. Now we're going to base this video off a funnel with the following structure: a landing page that once they hit it, they go through to book a call. Once they book the call, it asks them a very simple question, and then it shows them some client testimonials and some reviews. Now your funnel could look totally different. It could be structured in any way, but the main components of what we will be covering will more likely be quite similar. But when you're creating a promotion, there is more than just a funnel that makes a promotion. So even though we might have a fitness funnel with a landing page, a book a call, a questions, a testimonial, and a privacy page, there is a lot that we have to consider. So surrounding this fitness funnel that I have made, there is also a whole bunch of workflows surrounding the calendar in this funnel. And the main one we're going to grab is this funnel opt-in form. And this one just says when they fill in the form on the first page to add them to a workflow, create an opportunity, and send you an email. And this one was called the funnel opt-in form, so I'm just going to grab that one as well. And we're going to grab this to our visual representation of what's going on over here. Now it's worth noting before we go any further, and I know we talk about this in a lot of different places, but workflows are the same thing as triggers and campaigns. I'll jump across to the workflow for the phone call appointment book. This is a great example. So anything that is happening in a trigger on the left-hand side, so appointment in this calendar is booked, then set off these actions. In a workflow, anything that was in this what should trigger this rule is now just up here in this gray box, and everything that was happening over here on the right-hand side of triggers is now happening below in the workflow. So whereas in the past on the right hand side of a trigger, it would update opportunity in the pipeline, book a call. This is now just here as a step. So everything is the same. Anytime we talk about workflows or triggers, it's interchangeable. Just think about it for what you use for yours. So for the purpose of this video, I have just grabbed the workflow, but it could be the trigger if you're using triggers. And that is triggered by, back over here in our workflow, we're going to jump in and you can see that this button here would open the pop-up and it's triggered by this form here called funnel opt-in form. So I'm going to come back across to our visual representation. We have the landing page with a form. This triggers off the workflow funnel opt-in form complete. And the only other thing I want to note before we get too far into this is one of the emails or the text messages in this funnel opt-in form. Your workflows might look a little bit differently to how we've got these set up. If you're putting people into a nurture campaign to book in a call with you, you're going to be sending them a link for them to give them your calendar to get them on a call with you. So if that's in an email or an SMS, it doesn't matter. There's a pretty good chance you're either just nurturing with a conversation or you're sending them a direct trigger link. So we're going to grab this SMS from that nurture sequence and we're going to put that one over here as well. So as you can see so far, just to build up the structure of our existing funnel, we have a funnel with a landing page with a form on it. That form sets off a workflow and that workflow has a text message in it. They automatically go through to a book a call page. They book in the call on the calendar, they get asked a couple of questions, they see the testimonials, they go on through. So let's say this is basic or similar, or these are the same elements that you have in your offer and you're not sure how to proceed. For simplicity's sake, to keep things really nice and easy, I'm going to say that this is running an offer for a 28-day kickstart. And let's say that you now also want to run an offer, and that offer is for a 2-week nutrition fitness something, like a 2-week challenge. Now there's a couple of different ways that you could set up your brand new 2-week challenge, and it will depend on a couple of different things. If you are no longer running your 28-day kickstart, you could absolutely go in and just change the landing page to, instead of saying 28-day kickstart, just say the 2-week challenge. And that would be as simple as going into your funnel, hit edit, and anywhere in the funnel that you see the words 28-day kickstart, you could just say this is now the 2-week challenge, and just change any of the wording, any of the pictures, anything else. You would also need to change, if you're like us, running a custom value for all of your emails. Jumping back to this view, a landing page with your 2-week offer on it. This is the same, and then all of your text messages saying, hey, your 2-week challenge at your gym is starting, or wherever else. You will just then have to also go change your custom value. It's very simple. You will just go to settings, go to custom values. You would find your custom value promotional offer, or whatever custom value wording you're using for that offer in your funnel. And you would just hit the edit button and update that from the offer that you were running to the offer that you are running. So if you're moving from one offer to the other offer, it is super simple. All you have to do is change the wording on the first page of the funnel and change the custom value in your emails if you've set it up the same way that we've set it up here. So that's simple enough. But what about if you want to run 2 different promotions at the one time, or you want to set up an offer that is totally different, but you don't want to lose this setup? This is where things get a little bit trickier and you have to make a couple of decisions. So let's say you want to run a 28-day kickstart and you also want to run an 8-week challenge. Sorry, you want to run the 28-day kickstart and you want to run the 2-week challenge at the same time. It could be a 2-week challenge, it could be a 1-week free trial, it could be a 3-month mega challenge, it could be whatever you want. So what do you want to do then? Well, you've got a couple of choices about how you want to run it, but let's talk about what the structural setup is and what some of the differences are. So if you are running direct traffic ads where you have them come through to a landing page and they fill out the form, let's start by saying that we are going to want a brand new landing page. Easily, you can just clone that across. That's fine. That's dandy. The difference is if you want to run and set up a totally different calendar, a totally different structure, you don't want the structure after the landing page to be like this, we would recommend start a whole new funnel, or more realistically, clone the one that's already there. So you've already got the headers, the footers, the logos, the branding, the colors, the pictures, and just change the little bits that you want to change. Put a different calendar in, put in another step that's a survey to get people to weed out the people who are bad. But if the structure below the landing page is totally different, just clone the existing funnel and create a new one. If though, everything below this landing page is going to be the same on each challenge or each different thing that you're offering, you might be wanting to offer 3 totally different things, you'll see very quickly that it seems a little bit redundant to be running 3 different offers with 3 different identical book a call pages, 3 identical pages with questions, 3 identical testimonial pages. It's just a little bit redundant, it's a bit unnecessary. You don't need to have that many pages exactly the same. And one of the biggest problems you're also going to run into is once you have these funnel opt-in forms and you're having them come through to the book a call nurture campaigns, you're going to have 3 different trigger links to book a call for your 3 different book a call pages. If you simply have your 28-day kickstart and you want to run them all off the exact same nurture booking campaign to really cut down on the amount of workflows or campaigns or emails that you have to change and update constantly, you would then have to have a whole different set of workflows for your opt-ins, for your missed call. You're probably going to have a different calendar for every single offer as well. So it becomes really crazy. You're doubling, tripling the amount of content that you have in your account, and it's really unnecessary. So what we recommend, or what I recommend, is to come in, not have this, and instead have one funnel with 3 different landing pages. Your 2-week challenge landing page comes through to the same book a call. The 28-day kickstart landing page comes through to book a call. Your free trial landing page comes to book a call. It all goes off the exact same step. So when you're setting this up over here, we'll go through it in a minute. It would then just look like a funnel with 3 different landing pages or 2 different landing pages all in the one funnel, but it will act more like a funnel that does this. We'll come to that in a minute. So I hope that explains. And if you're going to stop running your current offer and run a new offer, change the wording. Just change the wording on the funnel. You can keep what's already there, just change it. If you're going to run 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 different offers at once, have the one funnel with 3 or 4 different landing pages, a different landing page for each offer, since that what happens after they opt in is going to be the same anyway. But if you're going to run a different offer that has a different structure, they're not just booking a call, perhaps they're having to complete a survey, you want them to come into the studio just to come straight for a free trial, then start a totally new funnel. So we're going to quickly look at this setup now, and we are going to take a funnel that is already now running that 2-week challenge that we set it up for before, and we're going to change it to also run a 28-day kickstart, because there's a couple of key changes that we're going to need to make in the setup to differentiate whether they've booked in for the 2-week challenge or they've booked in for the 28-day kickstart, while still only having to run the one opt-in campaign or workflow. So coming back across to a funnel, we're going to make things a bit easy. Instead of saying landing page, we're going to hit publishing, and we're going to change this to the 2-week challenge landing page. Then we are going to clone this one into the current step. Perfect. We're going to move this to the top, and we're going to make this one the landing page for the 28-day kickstart. Next, I'm just going to jump in very quickly and make some visual changes with the snap of my fingers. Whatever you need to do, just change the wording, change the pictures, everything else for now. We'll just do this step first. Let's just get those 2 pages set up. We'll hit save and we'll jump back out. So now we have 2 different landing pages in the one funnel, and we're going to have them both come straight through to the book a call page in a moment, but we're not going to do that just yet. The next thing is back over here in our diagram is we remember that this landing page had a funnel opt-in form. Now we have 2 different landing pages now, and we need to differentiate between if they fill in the form on the 28-day kickstart page or the 2-week challenge page. So we're going to go back over to marketing and we're going to go over to form builder. And here we are going to find that funnel opt-in form. And we're going to decide which page we want this one to be for. So we're going to maybe choose this one to be the 28-day Kickstart opt-in form. We're going to hit save. And then we're going to go back to the form builder. Find that 28-day Kickstart funnel opt-in. Hit copy. And we're happy for it to look exactly the same, because we want the design to be the same, and we're now going to change this one to the 2-week challenge funnel opt-in form. So we don't need to go in and edit anything on that. We now have 2 separate forms. That is totally fine. We're now going to go back down to funnels, find our funnel, and we're going to update those 2 pages to have their individual forms. So we're going to jump into 28-day Kickstart. We're going to hit the pop-up, hit the form, and over here on the left-hand side, you just can't see it, but this one does say the 28-day Kickstart form. Now we're going to go to this one, the 2-week challenge, and we're going to make sure the pop-up, hit the form, and change this one to the 2-week challenge form. There we go. Now the last thing that we have to do on these pages is we have to choose what happens after the people fill in this form. I've just changed this now so you can see the menu here on the left-hand side. When you click the form, you choose which form you want it to be, and you can choose what the next step is. Normally we would have it go to the next step, but this time we do want to choose to go to the website URL, and we're going to want to choose the URL for the next page. So just for a moment, we're going to save this. Back out here on the book a call page, for us that's where we want them to go through to as the first main page. For you, it would be book a call, fill out a form, whatever you want it to be. We'll just grab that URL because we want both of those to go to the exact same page. We'll jump back in, and over here we'll hit the pop-up, hit the form, and on submission we want them to go to the page book a call. So once you've got this bit set up in the funnel, the building blocks for this is complete. We won't have to come back to the funnels anytime soon. Everything else after this will be out of the funnel, so we're going to leave this for now. So these landing pages are done. Let's just double check this page here and the other pages in your funnel. We won't do it on this video because it will depend on what you want to do. Just make sure that the rest of these pages down here are generic enough to not reference something that you had going on up here in the landing pages. So we may actually come back to these pages, depends on how you've got them set up, because the next thing we're going to do is differentiate between the 2 forms that each of these landing pages now have and what we want to happen when people fill in those forms. So I had this workflow this funnel that I've built set up that when someone fills in the opt-in form, it was originally adding them to the generic phone booking nurture campaign. It was adding an opportunity, and it was sending an internal notification. So they would come in here, the boring stuff would happen, and then it would hit them into the workflow that actually sends them the messages. Because we are going to run a couple of different offers, I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to call this the opt-in form. Let's call it opt-in folder. And I'm going to put that workflow in there. It's super easy to move them around. Choose the workflow you want, move to a folder, opt-in folder, hit save, and here we go. So we're going to start with the 28-day Kickstart. We're just going to start with one offer. That's great. So we're going to have this start off when the form submitted is a 28-day Kickstart funnel opt-in form. That's fantastic. And if you were going to run Facebook form ads, you can do the exact same thing where you add a new trigger, Facebook, when a Facebook lead form is submitted, in the form, we don't have any here, but you would just select the ad you're running. I'm going to delete that. So you can have both of them running in the one workflow. If you're not using workflows, that's one of the fantastic things. If you're using triggers, you'd have to set up 2 different triggers, but with workflows, you can set them up with 2 different triggers setting off the one workflow. So the first thing we wanted to do is to create a add to the workflow, the generic one. I'm happy with that. Then we wanted to create an opportunity in the pipeline, whichever pipeline, in the stage, whatever stage. If you wanted to as well, because you're running a couple of different offers, you could even make the opportunity name contact full name. Split it up that way. You can also put in the lead for the different opportunity. That's great. So we'll hit save. Now, one of the differences is when you set things up for 2 different offers, we can't run this custom value promotional offer. It won't work because a custom value, you can only have one. Because we're running 2 different offers, it won't know. So instead of the custom value, we are going to put in a contact field. So what we're going to do is we're going to create the contact field. So we're going to choose update contact fields. In the fields, I can't make one from here. I'm going to have to stop this, save this, jump back out, go to settings. We're going to go to custom fields, add a custom fields. We'll give it a text field and we're going to name it whatever you want, but basically it's going to be the custom value promotional offer, but now it's going to be the custom field promotional offer. So I'm going to call it promotional offer as well. Cool, so that will be there now. We're going to go back across to our workflow and we're going to refresh because this should now be in there. And these contact fields or these custom fields as opposed to the values, the fields is anything that will appear on that 3rd page in your contact. So anytime they fill in a form, their own answer will appear in those fields. So this is where you'll find the answer for this custom field as well. So we'll go to the workflow, we'll add in a new step. We wanted to update the contact fields. And we're going to choose that field, which is custom fields. Promotional offer. And we want this to be the form they're filling in. So it's going to be the 28-day kickstart. Great. Just to make sure they go into this phone booking nurture campaign at the beginning, we're just going to pop that one back down at the end. We want to make sure that they get into there before they actually fill in this contact field because that will affect the messages that they get in the workflow. So we're going to add them to the workflow. There we go, the phone booking nurture contact sequence. So what will happen when they hit that first page, they fill in the form on the first page, which is the 28-day kickstart lead form. When they fill in the 28-day kickstart lead form, they're going to get an opportunity created. You're going to find out, and you might even want to change this to you have a new offer lead, so you can find exactly who from your email. It's going to update them with the contact field to be the offer that they're running, and then it's going to add them to that nurture campaign, and that will be a generic one. And then the really important thing about that as well is that you need to now update all of your emails, all of your nurtures. It won't take too long, so it's not that bad. It's a good chance to go through and make sure you're also sending the right messages. So if you jump into this is what they're going to be added into, the nurture. Go through, just check your messages, and anywhere that it's saying, hi, thanks for registering your interest in our custom values promotional offer, hit custom values, contact, custom field, find that promotional offer. So thanks for registering your interest in our contact promotional offer. I'm just going to copy that. So this means that you can have the exact same workflow, and it's just going to update it to say it's a promotional offer for whatever lead form or Facebook lead ad that they filled in. Do the same with the emails that's come across. Thanks for registering your interest in our contact promotional offer at location name. Make sure these trigger links are all the same. Like, everything should be fine. Just update those values from the custom value to the custom value to the custom field, the contact field. Then super easy, I'm sure you can guess exactly what we're going to do next, which is go back to 28-day kickstart. We're going to clone it. We're going to call it the 2-week challenge opt-in form. We're going to create it, and super simple. Start from the top, work your way down. When the form's submitted, we'll change that to the 2-week challenge. Creates an opportunity. This is all the same, but you might want to change that to, if you are doing that and maybe the lead's different. Very simple. Start from the top, work your way down. Internal notification. Maybe change the wording. Next one below that. Update contact field from promotional offer from 28-day kickstart to 2-week challenge. And then lastly, just add them to that workflow. So that is so easy to just make that slight difference. And then think about whatever you wrote in these. So 2-week challenge. Every time that you go now and you just update those workflows to say, like, the reschedule one as well, that's a really important one. So coming back to our diagram, let's double check that's all correct. So 2-week challenge, the landing pages we changed, so we have 2 separate ones. We have new forms for each landing page, and then those forms all redirect to the exact same book a call. And then all of the opt-in for all of those workflows, all of those campaigns, we just added in that slight different wording of, instead of the custom value, we've gone with the contact field, which means everything can be kept exactly the same, and you can use the same workflow or the same campaign to run this different offers and only need one workflow instead of needing 2 or 3 or 4. That's all you need to do to run a couple of different offers all from the one funnel. You can easily have as many landing pages as you want. All you have to do is have a different form for each landing page, have all of the landing pages go through to the exact same next step, and then for every landing page with a new form, just make sure that you create that workflow that has the custom field updating to be whatever offer that you're running. So easy. If you've gotten this far and you're still not sure if you should just start a new offer coming through to the same one, or if you want to start a totally new offer altogether, if these steps in here will be the same anyway, regardless of which offer you're running. Like, maybe you're running this one where you want them to fill out a form before they book a call, and you still want to run this one when they go straight through to book a call. You could absolutely, nothing is stopping you from having your 2-week challenge, for example, having a landing page, having, and this wouldn't be a book a call, this would be like a survey page, and then the survey goes down to book a call. You could absolutely have things set up this way. But the main thing to think about when you're going to set up a new offer is, well, if these pages are going to be the same, I can do a couple of different things up the top and have them all come through to the one book a call page. If you want to definitely not have this structure at all, you want to use a totally different calendar. This will only work absolutely if you are using the same calendar. If you do want to have 2 different calendars, maybe this one's a 15-minute call and this one is a half-an-hour call, you will then need to set up 2 totally different funnels. You will have to have 2 different funnels 2 different calendars, 2 different sets of workflows or campaigns for the reminders for those calendars. And that would mean, different workflows. You couldn't use the same one twice. Hopefully this has been helpful into giving you considerations on which way to set up your new offer that you're about to run, whether or not that is, as we talked about, just changing the existing offer because all of this setup is the same. It's going to be the same workflow, same funnel for same URL. That's totally fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with just changing the wording. If you want to run 2 offers at once, I hope this has been helpful into explaining how you can just use the exact same already existing funnel and just having 2 different landing pages and the changes that you have to make to get those set up. Or if you're going to run 2 totally different offers with 2 different call pages, 2 different calendars, maybe one's got a form and you've got to submit this or that or whatever else, then definitely set it up as 2 totally different funnels. You need 2 totally different opt-in forms. You may need different sets of workflows as well.